What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the High PSI Performance channel. I'm JD and it is a beautiful Monday morning. Let's walk in the shop and see what we got going on today. Oh, HR Scat Pack's car. Ugh. HR Scat Pack's car is in. We are going to be removing the HP70 out of this thing and putting an HP90 transmission in it, along with a new updated drive shaft. And then I think we got a small oil leak we need to address. And then hopefully we'll be taking this thing to the track for the first time with the twin turbo setup. So that will be super exciting. We've got our Torque Storm car from last week still here. Still making some changes on that thing. We did get the gauges installed, but the customer didn't have a pillar pod for it. So they're just kind of sitting there chilling when he does get a gauge pod. So we got boost, wideband. So we got those installed. We have a slight vibration that we need to get addressed on the head unit. So we're gonna get that addressed first thing this morning. As you guys probably just watched, Royce's Vet, we took that out to the track for the first time. Woo, that car is a rocket ship. Still got some things to address on it. That was the first time out, but everything works. But we are going to be changing the fluid in the transmission. Try to tighten the converter up a little bit. And then we're just slowly creeping up on it. We're not even banging the two-step at the line yet. We just want to get the car lined out, start adjusting the suspension, and you know, go from there. We want this car to progress quickly, but at a good rate. That way we don't just throw all the power at it and then we're trying to figure out all these problems. Taking it nice and slow. We've got this S10 in here. This one's a neat one. It's a 350 swap. I think we've got some leaks and some diagnostics to do on this one. And then wrapping up the cam Jeep this morning. I'm gonna restrap it back down and make one more tug on it and then drive it out on the street. Make sure everything's good on that one. And that one can go home as well. One more thing. Slide outside here. Woo! Little bright. John Boy in the building. Good morning, sir.
Well, hello there.
So, one other project that we're going to get started on. First thing, we're going to move everything out. First thing we're going to do is this. Boom. 2020, I believe, or 2021. Not sure. Jeep Gladiator. Couple of episodes back, probably quite a few episodes back now. This belongs to Austin. He used to have that black C5 Corvette that we did a tune on. He has since got rid of that and got this Jeep Gladiator, which is super sick. And I'm really glad as a customer, even though this really isn't a performance vehicle, well, different kind of performance vehicle, if you will. He has entrusted us to do the lift on the truck as well, which we've done lifts on several other vehicles, but this one's pretty cool. So we're gonna be lifting this thing up in preparation for, I think he's got new wheels and tires for it. Okay guys, to wrap up our Venom car with the Torque Storm, it's a Chrysler 300. That car finished out at 84.5 horsepower and 520 foot-pounds of torque. Walk out here, show you the car as it is about to go home. Go ahead and fire it up for you. Just a side note on this thing, as you can see, it still has the stock reservoir, which is extremely close to the blower. Inform the customer about getting a turbo guard because we are waiting on the Torque Storm
coolant reservoir, which is shorter, which will allow the intake to be installed. But they were out a week and a half on that. So instead of holding the car, customer needs it, so we're gonna let them drive it like this, and then once we get the reservoir installed, then we can install the rest of the intake. I don't know if I showed you guys either, we got the gauges installed as well and working. Just don't have a pillar pod for them. So as you can see, we got the lift all laid out. But I snaked you guys, it's going on the old Jeep. So this is also owned by the same customer that has the 2021 Gladiator. This Jeep has some sentimental value, and so he wants to slowly keep upgrading this Jeep. It's got new wheels and tires for it. So we're gonna go ahead and get this lift on the old Jeeperoni, and we'll take y'all along on the journey. See how this thing turns out. As you can see, our rear shackles and shocks are all in. And John is currently getting the fronts installed as well. So, still got to figure out, there's some spacers that go in the steering. Still got to get those put in. And then we'll be able to set this thing on the ground and see what kind of lift we make. Everything is wrapped up. These spacers right here space the transfer case, gearbox, all that stuff down to help with drive shaft alignment and vibration and so forth. And then as you can see, the front is all on as well. So we'll go ahead and get these tires stuck back on it, set her on down. As we move right along with our day, we've got HR Scats back on the lift now that we got the Jeeperoni done. And we are pulling this HP70 out of this car, this built HP70, and going with HP90. Ooh, look at them turbos, whirly boys. I just got word that the tires are in for the truck, so that's exciting. Got some new tires going on old Blurple. These amp tires, they look good. They don't balance out worth a crap, in my opinion. And so I got some Yokohamas, and we're going a little bit bigger, so we're gonna have a little bit more sidewall. Hopefully that means a little bit smoother ride. I mean, don't get me wrong, truck ride's good, but you guys know these big trucks, there's always room for improvement. So, bee try to fly in my mouth. So we're gonna run the truck over to Discount and get the new tires put on. So just wanted to give you one last look at what she looks like now. I'm gonna show you what she looks like when she gets back. As we power through on our Tuesday afternoon, we have ran into some issues, such as life. But we are unable at this time to put our Hellcats HP90 trans into our twin turbo Scat due to there is a pilot bushing that goes into the back of the crankshaft of the engine. From the factory, it's there. And basically, let me show you on this trend here on the torque converter. This stub on the torque converter rides in that pilot bushing. Everybody would know it more commonly as, we'll call it, a pilot bearing on something with a manual transmission. But on the Dodge engines, it has no needle bearings or anything in it. It's just a bushing that takes up that excess space. And the reason why his car is missing that component and why we can't just put this one directly in is because this car was previously equipped with a 1320 converter, and as you can see, that button is a lot bigger. When we did that swap, we took I don't have a light, just can't really see it. We took that out, so we need a new one to press in here. So I'll hit up our friends at Dodge, and we will have one hopefully sometime in the morning tomorrow, and then we can move forward with that.
In the meantime, we pulled our other neon project in that you guys seen, I think last week, maybe this week, no, last week, me putting the motor together. And John has stabbed that motor into the car. So now we gotta get the turbo and all the other goodies attached back to that, and then we'll get that one fired up and get it on back to the customer. The Hellcat trans is in. We are buttoning some things up. I was waiting on this right here. When you do the swap, you need to have the Hellcat transmission cross member. We didn't have it, but we were able to get one lickety split. And I'm currently in the process of putting our new drive shaft in. So, see, I got my wrench up here. Beautiful piece of artwork as far as drive shafts are concerned. So, Willis Racing drive shaft. So, just got to finish buttoning some things up and putting all of our lines back and putting the exhaust back on. And we got to do a little ECU programming, and this thing should be wrapped up. John is still working on putting the final touches on the neon. It's almost done. Just gotta put the put the axle in and tidy up some coolant lines and back lines. Then we'll be filling this thing with oil and coolant and firing it up. So it'll be ready to go back to the customer. However, I didn't film it, but I just finished up with Royce's Corvette and did a fluid change on the transmission. If you go back in the previous episode, you'll see we took it out to the track. Car did really well for its first outing, no issues. So we will be ready to go back to the track tomorrow. And then I snaked you guys. Yesterday I didn't film anything. We were just busy and we kept running into little brick walls, like with the trans deal. And we have another car I haven't filmed yet, but it's that S10 back there. It's 350 swapped and it needs a starter, it needs new spark wires. So we were going through that one, doing some diag, and I just didn't pick up the camera. But bam, Blurple Moon. We now have 37s on her. So she's sitting about 2 inches higher than she was before. And the ride, I must say, these Yokohamas, the Geolander Yokohama, it's a nice aggressive looking tire. Doesn't have too big of knobs on the outside, so you know, in the mud I don't know how well they would do, but to be honest, Blurple's more of a pavement princess anyways. I don't really take her off-road, but they look good, they look aggressive, and man, do they ride so much better than those amp tires that were on the truck before. So really happy got those on. Shout out to Discount in Harker Heights. They took great care of me, great care of the truck, and they took great care of the wheels that are on this thing. Woo, John making some noise on this beautiful Friday morning. As you just witnessed, this morning early Ashton dropped by with his GTR and we made some pulls on the dyno this morning. Woo, that thing's a monster. 32 pounds, something like that. Made 950 wheel. Pretty dope. He'll be taking it out to Little River tonight. We've got the top 10 list going on tonight, and it's nice. It's like mid 40s right now. Beautiful. It's gonna be some fast cars tonight. And I don't know, one of these days, next season, I'll start filming it for you guys, the top 10 list. So it's our local thing. So if you go to Little River Dragways page, you should see some of the videos posted there. If not, like I said, next season I'll get somebody to come out and film with me. It's a little bit difficult because I'm one of the race masters of the event, and so I'm talking to people, orchestrating the races and all that stuff, so I don't really have time to film. But I'll get some of those videos for you guys, just so you guys can see some of the cars racing at our local track. Hector's car is all put together. I gotta pull the file out of that and do some ECU stuff to it, and we'll get that car in the dyno, but I don't think we're gonna make it tonight. Got a Stream S10 350 swap on the lift. John is installing the new starter, and then we're identifying the leaks on it. I'm about to pull a S550 Mustang in for a little diag, so let's see what we got going on.